Great Scott. Great Scott. Great Scott.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Great Scott. I'm Scotty V. Thanks for watching. So, it's been announced, of course, a few weeks ago that Cyborg will be included in the new Batman / Superman / Wonder Woman / whoever else they're going to put in their movie. That's what I'm calling it now. I think that that should be the title. Just Batman / Superman / Wonder Woman / Cyborg / pre-Justice League / whoever else they're going to put in this movie / add your own character here / the movie. But that's what I'm calling it. I find it very easy to say and very easy to remember. So you should take to calling it that too. The more you know. From Scotty V. What do I think about Cyborg? Somebody kind of, not really called me out, but they asked me what I meant when during the Radio KAL from April, I mentioned that I'd never really been a fan of Cyborg, and then I guess I went on to say that it still might be kind of cool to see him in his own movie. What do I mean by that? What I mean is I like the idea of standalone superhero films. I've said many times I like all superhero movies, so I like to see the expansion of the universe. I like to see characters that really were never given a second glance have their own movie. I loved it when Steel was announced that it was going to be a movie. I hated the way the movie turned out. I didn't really watch the whole thing, but I've seen scenes of it on TV, and I heard enough bad things, and I thought it was weirdly casted, and the character weirdly changed to kind of fit a Shaq comedic type movie that was meant to be somewhat serious, but had that weird vibe to it. So I never went in and tried to actually watch it, but from what I've seen, like with scenes in Catwoman with Halle Berry, very, very bad and a very ill-conceived idea. But I always like the idea that they're moving ahead. You know, I was excited about Ant-Man a few months ago. I did a thing where I mentioned that they're doing Ant-Man, and I'm still excited about it. Doctor Strange. And these are, you know, other characters that you wouldn't think would get filmed. So, the idea that Wonder Woman's going to be in this new Trinity movie, whatever it's going to be called, is cool. And the idea that DC might do it backwards, in that they're going to introduce all these characters together in somebody else's movie and then do solo movies after the fact and after they do Justice League, which has also been announced, which obviously is very cool. I'm still kind of hurting that, you know, Batman's the guy, and it's clear that Batman's the guy, and Man of Steel's not getting, I feel like he's getting short shrift and we're not getting a proper sequel, but I think that's right away. I think once this movie and then the Justice League movie are gangbusters at the box office, and they start doing the spin-offs that are standalones that maybe have other partners in them and things like that, we're going to see other Man of Steel movies with Henry Cavill and the rest of his cast, just like they're in this movie. And there haven't been any more announcements of family members or Bat family members other than Alfred, so who knows how far they're going to go with other characters and other people related to the other heroes. But with Cyborg being in it, we now know that they're expanding upon it, and we know they're going to Justice League. And what I had said on Radio KAL was that I've never been a massive fan of Cyborg. I was kind of disappointed when they included him in the new relaunch 52 Justice League. But I understand the need to add other races and diversify. And they do that. And that's why they kind of changed Perry White to a black guy in the new movie. Because there aren't a lot of other races in a lot of these comic books. It's a lot of white people, a lot of white men. So the same thing with adding women and trying to bring Wonder Woman in. And I love Wonder Woman as a character. I just never read a lot of Teen Titans. I know Cyborg is from there. And but and I think this is where somebody said, but then you changed your mind a few seconds later and said it would be cool. On Smallville, it was kind of cool. I always liked when other characters would show up on Smallville. I liked to see how they got treated on TV for the first time. So I think, too, it'll be neat to see kind of a Cyborg story in this particular. I don't think we're going to see his full origin. I don't think there's time to show every origin for every character when you got all these characters together in a movie. But that's why you do spin-offs after the fact. So I just think it's an exciting time. I just like the idea that they're introducing these characters, and it's in the universe that Man of Steel first started. And even if there's question as to why they're not going ahead with a full-fledged sequel for Man of Steel, but who knows exactly where they're going to go with this one, and whether or not it's going to be Man of Steel 2. It could still be Man of Steel, World's Finest, Man of Steel, Trinity, Man of Steel, whatever. So, you know, I think it's cool. I think, you know, Cyborg as a character is kind of an amalgam of other different... It's not really original. It's like a Terminator, but it's not. And it's like his name is Cyborg. You know, people say that about Superman as well. Like, how original do you have to be? He's a guy who's super, so let's call him Superman. The similar thing. He's a cyborg, so let's just call him Cyborg. That'd be like saying I'm Scott, so my superhero name's Scott, or I'm a man, so man, or tall man, strong man, you know, person, which is, you know, like Cyborg. He's a cyborg, so he's Cyborg. But you know, I think it could be interesting in a movie. I like to see how they do renditions of the DC universe, so I'm looking forward to it. Cyborgs are cool. Thanks everybody for watching, and remember, always look up in the sky.